Hey. It's funny. And this is kind of like a random video, but like I feel like I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been getting into like such like sad kind of like emotional videos and like I can't lie. So like I'm sorry if it's like more emotional rather than like roasty. But like I find that uploading like inspired by my like real emotions and like feelings um kind of like flows better than trying to make like a video um that I'm just trying to like, you know, get on a topic before like it's past or something like that. But yeah, the title of today's incoherent rant is Free Yourself from Good Girlism and Become a Bitch Today. Yep. So I'll get straight into it. So y'all know that I grew up like pretty kind of religious, right? But I went to like a Christian school, right? And I was taught the golden rule, and that if I was a good, humble, God-fearing girl, that I would be rewarded, and that I would have like this wonderful life, and I would be all these good things, right? And my mother told me that being obedient was like the standard, and that it would take me far, that good manners and education and all that. And to an extent, that makes sense, and she was right about that. But what these people did not tell me is that that's not always the case, and you can treat people how you want to be treated, right? So in my case, being really nice and going out of my way to like show up for people and things like that, people are not always going to do that. And like, imagine 7-year-old me. I was like so shocked. I was like so confused, right? I remember specifically when I was like 7, I don't remember the age, but somewhere along those lines, those ages, right? And I remember my friend of me at the time, she would like start to bully me, right? And I was so confused. It was so weird. I remember one day she literally, we were playing like hopscotch, right? And she pushed me down on the floor and she said, "I hate you," or something like that, right? No. I actually turned around to her and I said, "I hate you," right? And she was like so upset. And I remember her, like, her face to me, right? It was so weird to me. I found it so weird that she would push me on this like concrete, gravel floor, right? Right. And I was like skinny and I wouldn't say like popular, but like I was like friendly with people, and we were in like the same like friendship group, and I don't know, like I guess I was like liked, I guess, right? This girl, she was like overweight and unambiguous, right? Yeah, so I guess she, I don't know, saw me as like having everything, and so like she was like really upset. And I feel like nobody tells you that when people feel like you have everything, right? Whether it's beauty or money or anything like that, right? People don't tell you that when people see you having all these things, they think, that it's okay to, hurt you, to isolate you, and all of these things, right? And that, when it comes to like giving people stuff, right? So, like a promotion or something like that, people are like, oh, well, she has everything, right? Oh, she's already pretty. She's already, has a good career. Why should we promote her? Why should we should give it to somebody else, right? Because you have to them, it feels like you have too many privileges, you have too many assets, right? So you need to be, stifled in some way. I feel like my mother, right, to her and her mother, you know she felt like she had to stifle me in a way, because she, again, I talked about it before, she called me her star, right? So she needed to stifle me in a way. She was like, she's already pretty, she's already skinny, right? She already has some money, right? So I need to stifle her in a way, right? I need to make her humble, I need to make her submissive. That's why I hate the words like humble and submissive. And like, it sets me off when people say that like I'm vain or something like that. It's kind of true, but at the same time, it's like, why is that a horrible thing, right? I think more people need to be invested, and just a teensy bit of vanity would help a lot of people. When you're like vain, you're not focused on what other people are doing, compared to other people who are like watching people's lives and are like obsessed, and seeing who people are dating, like random strangers, and what their life is like, and what they're doing, what are they pursuing, sort of thing, right? And nobody told me that people actually respected mean people, mean women, mean people in general, but specifically mean women, right? More than they do nice ones, right? So the good girlism was not working for me. I remember being called like an angel, right? By my teacher, right? But the moment I did something bad, right? You know what they all said about me? She thinks she's grown. Oh, she must think she's like this bad girl now, and all this stuff, just completely slandering me, right? And I started to slowly realize, oh, it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how good I was, how nice I was, how helpful, how sweet, right? These people were never going to believe me. And I think as I got older, I realized that, as a young child, you're like, oh, I have to like impress adults and like your parents, and the older people, they'll see that I'm being, I'm a nice kid, right? So they'll like listen to me and believe me and stuff like that. So when I started talking about the abuse I was facing, right, it became this thing where I really realized, right, that I was not being believed, right? Despite being nice, despite being a child who wasn't, like a troublemaker or like a bad kid, right? But because of my age, because of like the things they perceive me to be as, so like being financially well off, being pretty, being well kept and things like that, they were like, oh, you're just spoiled, you're just a brat, you're just like you're just acting out for no reason, right? And that was a moment that was really sad, is really heartbreaking to this day, right? And moving on. Oh, sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. I just feel like I don't go out of my way to be overly nice anymore. Like, I don't, to an extent, I do, because like it's just my character, but at the same time I'm cautious of what I'm doing and how much labor other people are doing for me, and how much labor I'm doing for other people, right? And I remember there's this book, right? Men love bitches, right? I would also argue, right? Women love bitches too. Yeah. And I'm not just talking like romantically, but like in like platonic relationships. I've had so many women follow me around like sad puppies, right? Even when I was like uninterested, um, just a straight up bitch or anything like that. It's really weird how many women start to respect you, how many people respect you only when you're mean to them. That's why when all this stuff is coming out about like Hollywood people and how they're so mean and things like that, I'm like, well, yes, you guys respect and uplift and cherish and protect. That's the key thing that they don't want to talk about. They protect all of these terrible people, and then when they get fed up, when they don't want to deal with it anymore. Like I remember there was this pretty girl at my college, right? And I remember the whole time I did not like her, because like she was just this nasty attention seeking bitch, right? I thought she was a pretty girl, but like she just had this nasty attitude, right? Just so immature, just horrible, right? But everybody coddled her, right? It wasn't until like the end of the year, right, that everybody started getting upset because she started, ruining, projects that they had to work with her on, and things like that. So people started getting upset, right? But you see how only it's okay when you're pretty. It's okay when they want to admire you, they want to be in proximity, they want to, like baby you and cuddle you or whatever, right? But as soon as it's not lucrative for them, they want to now throw you under the bus. And some of these people in Hollywood, right? And also that girl, they deserve it. But at the same time, why are these people now getting on this high horse? Like they really cared about morals, they really cared about injustice, about abuse, about all these things, and nepotism. You never cared about it. Because people don't want to admit they love supporting bad people. It's never been a world where good people are like put on a pedestal, right? Or like been the most successful, right? You know that saying that like bad things happen to good people, right? It's true, because like I've seen so many terrible people, right? And they just live amazing lives. They have no worries at all, right? It's the people who are trying so hard to be nice, who are giving everything, right? And just can't get something back. And I think that's sad, right? That's why I'm very much of the philosophy of becoming a bitch, of being mean today. The doors that have opened for me, the amount of success, the time where I really started getting success is when I was hungry and I started going for things, and I was really a bitch about what I wanted, right? When I didn't care about coming off as being mean or pushing it or anything like that. No, you have to do that, because people do not respect people who are submissive. People do not. These men always say they want somebody who's submissive, right? But do they actually respect them? Do they genuinely? No. They love the labor. Do they? Maybe they respect the labor of what a submissive woman can do, right? But do you see them as a person? Do you see the person doing all this labor as a person, as somebody who is to be protected? No. And that's a problem I have. So I'm not saying, become this like evil person or like go out in the streets and start, becoming like a serial killer or anything like that. No. Or like becoming like a menace to society. No. But like, just stop being so nice to people who are not nice to you. Stop being so considerate in going out of your way for people who would never go out of their way for you. Stop doing it, because you're going to find yourself with this like empty feeling, and that's part of my regrets in my life, right? In my like short life that I've had, right? Where I wish I held people to task more than I let other people hold me to task, right? I like, before I made this video, right, I thought about it and I was like, I've apologized to people more than I've ever received the apology, right? And you could say, oh, that's not really like weird or out of the norm or anything like that, right? But I find it weird and I find it sad that I've had to apologize to people more than they've apologized to me, only for the simple fact that I consider people's feelings more than they do, right? And even when I didn't have to apologize, I still did, right? I still did. And it didn't do anything for me. It just let other people know, specifically people who are like very manipulative, have narcissistic traits and things like that, right? That it's easier to manipulate me, right? It's easier. This person is a person that when I want something, when I want to manipulate, when I want to get my, my fix, right? I can go to this person and I can manipulate them, and they're going to apologize. They're not going to say anything. They're going to apologize to me, right? Even if I did something bad, they're going to apologize to me. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all, because you'll find yourself, right, sick, anxious, depressed, all of those things, right? So I think that's the end of this like incoherent rant. Moral of the story: put yourself first and be a bitch today. Thank you. Bye. Please like. I forgot. Please like. Please subscribe. I'm so glad that like I've gotten like 500 subscribers. I tried this morning. Thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to LCK, Cafiole, Rio. Thank you so much. Y'all always support my stuff. It's so nice. Shout out to Y World. She's so funny. Oh my god, I was watching her this morning and she is hilarious. Oh my god. She does this like cackle that's so funny. Yeah, but please like, please subscribe, binge my content. I have a playlist. It should appear on the screen. Thank you. Bye, mama.